there, I'm Kazu. I work as a yoga instructor in Japan and enjoy climbing various mountains. Today, I'd like to talk about Mount Fuji, Japan's highest peak, from a Japanese perspective. If you are interested in Japanese mountains, nature, or culture, please stay tuned until the end. Every time I see Mount Fuji, something happens to me that I can't fully explain. Maybe I'm on a Shinkansen, half asleep, and someone near the window suddenly said, "Oh, Fuji-san!" And everyone, total strangers, turn to look. Or I'm on a plane, and the pilot announces it's visible on the right side, and house cabin leans over to catch a glimpse. It doesn't matter how many times I've seen it before. Every single time, I feel this small involuntary rush of joy. Almost every Japanese person feels this. It's not something we are taught. It just happened. Today, I want to talk about why. My English have a strong Japanese accent, so I'll switch to style that's easier to understand for the rest of the video.
Most mountains in Japan that are considered sacred have a shrine built on them, or near them, dedicated to a god who lives there. Mount Fuji is different. Mount Fuji itself is the deity, not a home for a god, the god's own body. This is called a goshintai, a sacred object that the spirit resides in permanently, and in Fuji's case, that object is the entire mountain. The goddess enshrined there is Konohana Sakuya Haime, a goddess of blossoms and of volcanoes, worshipped at Sengen shrines all across the country, with the head shrine sitting right at the base of Fuji itself. For over 1,000 years, Japanese people didn't just admire this mountain from a distance. They prayed to it, feared it, and treated eruptions as the god's anger. Fuji has erupted many times in recorded history. Respect for it was never just about beauty, it was survival. Starting in the Edo period, a few hundred years ago, something remarkable developed around this belief. Communities called Fuji-ko. These were mutual support groups, almost like local clubs, where members pooled money together so that once a year, a few representatives from the group could travel to Fuji and climb it on behalf of everyone else. Climbing the mountain wasn't tourism. It was a religious pilgrimage, a form of purification, and something that ordinary townspeople, not just priests or samurai, could take part in. At their peak, there were said to be so many of these groups that people joked there were 808 Fuji-ko in Edo, the old Tokyo. That number wasn't literal, it just meant an enormous, uncountable number. For people who couldn't make the actual journey, communities even built miniature Fujis, small artificial hills just a few meters tall, made from real volcanic rock brought back from Fuji itself, so that climbing to the top would count spiritually as climbing the real mountain. Some of these mini Fujis still exist in Tokyo neighborhoods today, tucked between houses, easy to miss unless you know what you're looking at. This is the part I think is easy to miss if you only look at Fuji as a famous, beautiful mountain. For a huge part of Japanese history, it was less like a mountain and more like a shared object of devotion that ordinary people organized their communities around. That devotion never really disappeared. It just changed shape. Walk into an old-fashioned public bathhouse, a Sento, almost anywhere in Japan, and there's a good chance the big tiled wall behind the bath has a mural of Mount Fuji painted on it. Nobody remembers exactly when this tradition started, but it's everywhere, and it says something. When Japanese people wanted to paint the most calming, most quintessentially home image possible on a wall meant to relax you, they chose Fuji. You'll also notice that all over the country, there are local mountains nicknamed the Fuji of wherever they happen to be: Satsuma Fuji, Ezo Fuji, Sanuki Fuji, and dozens more. These are usually smaller volcanic peaks with a similarly clean, symmetrical cone shape. Calling a local mountain your region's Fuji is one of the highest compliments a landscape can get in Japan. It's a way of saying, "This is our beautiful mountain." our version of the beautiful mountain. And then there's that reaction I mentioned at the start. On the train, on a plane, from a random street corner in Tokyo on a clear winter morning. It's almost a national pastime, spotting Fuji unexpectedly. Weather forecasts will sometimes even mention whether Fuji will be visible that day. There's no practical reason for this information to matter. It matters anyway. Here's something that surprises a lot of people outside Japan. An enormous number of Japanese people say they want to climb Mount Fuji at least once in their life. It's treated almost like a rite of passage, something you're supposed to do eventually. And yet, most people never actually do it. The truth is, climbing Fuji is harder than it looks in photos. It's not a technical climb. You don't need ropes or climbing gear, but it's a long, grinding ascent to over 3,700 meters, and altitude sickness catches a lot of people off guard. Most climbers try to do it overnight, hiking in the dark with headlamps in order to reach the summit for sunrise, which sounds romantic but is exhausting and cold even in August. Between the physical demand and the altitude, plenty of people talk about climbing Fuji for years, and just never quite get around to it. I think that's true for more Japanese people than would ever like to admit. Here's my own honest opinion as someone who lives with this mountain in the background of daily life. Fuji is a mountain you should climb once, if you can. But it might actually be even more beautiful when you're not standing on it. From the summit of Fuji itself, you're just standing on volcanic gravel, staring at more volcanic gravel. The real magic of Fuji is its shape, seen from a distance, that perfect, solitary cone rising up out of everything around it. And there's one view I'd put above almost any other, looking at Fuji from the northern part of the southern Alps, the Minami Alps. If you climb peaks like Kaikomagatake or Senjogatake, and the weather cooperates, you can capture something extraordinary in a single photograph. Mount Fuji, the tallest mountain in Japan, together with Mount Kita, the second tallest, and Mount Ai, the third tallest, all three of Japan's highest peaks in one frame. Fuji stands alone and unmistakable in the distance, while Kita and Ai rise up close and dramatic in the foreground. I've seen a lot of mountain views in my life, but that one stays with me. So if you ever find yourself in Japan with the chance to climb Kaikomagatake or Senjogatake, take it. You'll get a view of Fuji that most people, including most Japanese people, never see in person. Fuji isn't just the tallest mountain in Japan, it's a god, a meeting point for entire communities of pilgrims centuries ago, a mural on a bathhouse wall, a name borrowed by mountains all across the country, and a small flash of happiness every time it appears outside a train window. I don't think most of us could really explain why seeing it makes us feel this way. It just does. And honestly, I hope it does the same for you one day, whether that's standing on its summit or looking at it from somewhere far away, with two of Japan's other tallest mountains standing beside it.
So what did you think? Did this make you want to climb Mount Fuji yourself? Honestly, I've climbed it about 7 times, but after it became a UNESCO World Heritage Site, it got so crowded that I stopped going up. These days, my real joy comes from climbing other peaks in the Japanese Alps and looking over at Fuji from their ridgelines instead. Still, if you've never climbed it, I really hope you get the chance to experience it at least once. And while you're up there, take a moment to think about the culture and history behind it too. And please, safety first always. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I want to keep talking about Japan's mountains, nature, and culture. So please subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Bye bye.